Hey, good morning. This is Vance out of Seattle, Washington, and welcome to my live morning Forex trading show. Got a lot of sleep last night, so I'm feeling pretty darn good. The markets have really been on the move. I'm going to show you some setups for sure. Just want to quickly show you that Google has changed the system, so I want to show you that if you want to see more of what I'm talking about, make sure when you click play on the video, when you see this be part of the conversation right here on the bottom left, just click on that and you can actually go in here. And I'll actually go in and I'll actually add a few links in just a little bit, so you can see some links that I'm talking about. But you can go to Twitter, for example, and search Forex Art of War if you want to find out when the shows are going to happen a couple minutes before they do. And then also you can go to forexartofwar.com and you can download my free books. These are very popular. I'll tell you about why people fail and how to build a solid foundation in trading. Let me see if I can at least get one link up for later. See if I can find that real quick. Yeah. All right, just a moment. Just going to add something here. And we'll get right to the price movement. Okay. All right, so let me see. Coming up at the end, after 2 months, we're going to be opening up our private training program. That'll be this coming Monday. And if you'd like to hear more about that, just stick around to the end. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, in fundamentals, there's a lot going on out there in the investment world right now. Banks are posting quarterly earnings, just a lot happening. Anyway, yesterday afternoon, while the banks were closed, and if you watch my mouse here, the euro moved up, at least from the start, about 100 pips. But during a very volatile period, it moved about 70, 80 pips straight up. And this was in early Asian session. This was thought to be part of a glitch. The bond markets were closed, and it's thought that this threw some algorithms into selling mode, somewhere around about $700 million. And, I thought, if that's true, there was a high probability of this, that basically reversing. I'm not sure if that's why it reversed or not. There are real fears about Ebola out there right now. The fears probably not warranted to the extent that, to the point of everything you're saying. I mean, first of all, the 2 months that led up to this, there was a lot of misstatements about what the Center for Disease Control actually said. Everybody, literally the mainstream media was misquoting what they said, which created a lot of fear. I guess that sells stories. But the main thing is that this is what's being said and what's being talked about is affecting the markets. The U.S. dollar is still being viewed in a strong trend. We've seen central banks using language that would cause the dollar trend to reverse a bit. But this morning, more bad news out of the Eurozone and more good news out of the United States. So the dollar is still where it's at. And, I just want to say it's really great to see the volatility back in Forex trading. This creates so much more opportunity for us as traders. And speaking of that, let's go ahead and take a look at some setups. Now, yesterday, when this rapid move happened, I'm going to have to drop down to a 1 minute chart because it was moving very fast. But I'll show you what happened. You'd had to be very quick on this. It's happened a little while ago, so I'm going to have to get back. Let me zoom out a little bit. All right, let me go back, zoom out a little bit more. Zoom out a little bit more. Okay, there it is. So I want to zoom in on that. Now, what happened on the way up here is right here when this first took off. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Sometimes when it's moving very fast, we have to zoom in. So right here, when this really first took off, it came within 1 pip of 38.2, and then made this second push. So it's difficult for us. We tend to not enter, at least most of us, unless it's you know, it retraces at least 38.2. And so this one would have been tough to catch unless you were, you know, a little bit more experienced. Beyond that, this was just too much of it was very unusual market conditions, so we would have tended to stay away from that. Now, let's take a look at this morning as price turned around. Then we got to go back to the 30-minute chart. We had a fib on here, which was right here, which basically indicate where the key level is. And if you look, the market will show you where that is. That ends up being right there. That's where the battle line was. You can see that there was a former supply line that stretched out across here, former level. But this 76.4 was a real key level. When this 30-minute candle closes through here, that's when then things start to look better. So if we look at that time, that came at the end of 4 o'clock. So that'd be 4:30. So let's drop down to that. And that's 4:10, 4:15, 4:20. And so, yeah, so it's a new turnover. So in a new turnover point, you guys write this down. This is very important to your trading. When the money's flipping, let's say to the downside like it is here versus the upside where we were yesterday afternoon, when it's flipping, during that transition, you're going to get more opposition, and that's why you get this stronger push up here. Now, once it goes through that and says, hey, we've got this, then you have less buying interest going back the other way. And so the red lines basically mark the start and end points of price for the new waves. And if you don't know how to draw those new waves, you can actually see a trading course right at the top of the page. It's like 20 minutes on how to master the Fibonacci tool using my technique. And it'll really help you a lot, help you to be able to see when there is a real advantage and how strong that advantage is. So if you draw this in the right place, then you can measure it. You can say, okay, that was a 37 pip move, very strong. This wave here was started here. It was about 28. So this is a real beauty because you can see that not only is the money turning over, but the trend is expanding and getting stronger. If you know how to draw these correctly, you can actually see that. So this was probably the best trade out there yesterday. This one right here, or early this morning rather. This pullback right up here. Okay, there was another one that let's see. Looks like took off about right there. Wait a minute. Let me get rid of this one because it's getting a little messy. Right here, starts here. Wait a minute. I don't have this in the right place. Let me just put a new one on here. There's so many trading opportunities. Our charts are getting really messy. Okay, so from here to here, there was a move. Let's see how strong that was. That was about 20 pips. So that's a bare minimum that we like to see. It actually ends up moving all the way down to here. So it ends up being 25 pip move, pulls back to almost 61.8 before making another push. So this was a really nice one here as well. And then these start to get smaller and choppier. Now notice when you notice this is small, this is bigger, this is a little bit smaller, starting to get choppy. This is where the sellers will lose conviction. You can actually see that unfolding if you know how to draw these correctly. And then you know it's likely to invoke less conviction to the downside. You can actually see the movement weakening. And then when it stalls 1, 2, maybe 2 times, then you get a little bit deeper move up. So right now, where we're sitting at here, I'll just go ahead and put a number on it. We need to move. These guys want to consolidate a little strength here, and we need to move below 26.46. Now let's move out just a little bit to see if there's anything meaningful. No, the only thing that I see down here is this level right here. There's going to be some buy orders sitting right in here. So let's see. If this was to stretch out below here, you can get a nice move, pull back, and second push before you actually ever hit that level because it's about 40 pips away. So that's something to watch for right there. Now, keep in mind that what I share with you is for educational purposes only. You have to be able to put all this together. You have to be it when you take a trade, you need to know your risk to reward ratios. You need to know how to manage your risk properly. You need to know how to use the trading platform and even get in at the correct prices and get out at the correct prices, which almost nobody in Forex trading knows how to do. So what I'm doing is I'm sharing educational information with you. I'm not trying to tell you where you can make money. I think that requires a full skill set. All right, so let's go take a look at the pound. There wasn't a lot of opportunity yesterday. It turned around but didn't turn over. You can see this moved up here. You see the 21 still under the 55. The money didn't turn over, so it goes sideways, and then we had a key level at 60.56, and it comes through that. It struggles in that area right there, and then finally just closes under. I'm not going to say that that's a strong enough close to mean anything, but it ends up following through and going down. But you see the opposition at this key level, a lot of opposition. Then once it goes through there, then we're in good shape. So let's look at the time. We'll be looking for a trade after 4 o'clock. So dropping down to 5 minutes so that we can see the behavior. Keep in mind that you do not want to make trading decisions based upon gimmicks and symbols. That's what most techniques are. You want to make it based upon the actual behavior that we can rely on. And so there's a move here. Let's see where that 4 o'clock hour begins. It begins about right there. It looks like I've got a small move mark there. Looks like this was moving so quickly we need to drop down to a 1 minute. So I'm going to do that. And then we'll be able to see what happened. Okay, so we had a move that started about right here. Moved all the way down to here, about 21 pips, and then moved back to 38.2. Starts to make another second push right here and makes it all the way to here. So from here to here, and that wave is 17. That's a very small one. That's that pushback area. Now, when this comes back down right here, this next move, it shows you some real strength. And so right there, that's the trade. Boom, pull back to 50%, another push. So that's where the highest probability trade was right there. Everything points to it as it breaks through all the opposition right in that area. Now, that right there was a 52 pip move. This next one is 23, so less than half. And so this next one, it does make another push. What is this one? This is 24, kind of about the same. And so that'll generally create some hesitation, right? We're not seeing anything growing stronger. So, you know, there are still sellers in the market, but not enough strength to push it lower. Now, what we see right now is we see it, let me drop down to the 5. So we see it did make a little move here, but it's very, very choppy. And so going back up here, we're going to go ahead and put a key level. If you want to get in on another sell, we need to see something move below 59.14. So that's the pound. So quite a bit of price analysis, quite a few setups this morning. And let's see what else. No, that's about it. Now, I told you at the beginning I wanted to tell you about something special, and I want to show you that now. I believe we're going to be releasing all of this on Monday. Let me just zoom out a little bit. I believe this is the most comprehensive Forex training program in the world, complete education. What really makes us different is the coaching and really a defined path to develop the skill. So in 2 weeks, we're going to really release this officially. But on Monday, for 1 week only, you'll be able to read this. I'm going to show you where to get the link. Read this. You'll be able to get all of this for extremely low price just for 1 week as we just do a quick introductory offer. So if you have any interest, email me at vance@forexartofwar.com. I'm very easy to find if you just go to our website. So I did want to show you real quick. If you want to see that page, you can see it right here. Again, join the conversation, and you can click right there. And when you do, it'll bring you to this page. It'll tell you all about it. And then just contact us if you want to learn more. I can guarantee you're going to be blown away by what you learn. Now, I want to tell you one more thing. On our webpage, make sure you go to Member Experience. It's right up here, Member Experience. There are just tons of people talking about their experience with the training program. So, these are not edited. These are just what people posted on their own. So do read it. There's lots of them. Read them. I mean, if you're serious about becoming a Forex trader, find out what's really different about what we're doing. Okay, so that's about it for this morning. I hope you got at least one idea through all of that that's going to help you with your Forex trading. That's all I have for this morning. Members, I'll see you guys in about 45 minutes in our live trading room coming up at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Cheers, everyone.